Hey folks, so I'm just recording this from a hotel room because I did This Week in Stupid Live today, and apparently there's been a huge drama with Kraut and JF regarding Kraut encouraging someone to flag his video or something, or someone did it regardless of... I don't know. I've been out of the loop because I've been busy with IRL stuff. And everyone's asking me, are you going to mirror JF's videos? I don't have a link to it. But I'm not. I'm going to take down my mirror of Kraut's video. I don't want to be involved in this drama anymore. I don't know who's right, I don't know who's wrong, and I don't care. I don't really approve of behaviour on both sides, but I approve of Kraut's behaviour less. I think that he's been culture warrioring it up at the alt-right, which I don't think is appropriate, because they're not really a valid target for that kind of thing. And it's not a case of no bad tactics, only bad targets either. There are bad tactics, and I believe Kraut has been engaging in some of them, but also there are times when things are justified, and going against the alt-right like this isn't justified. They're not capable of doing anyone any serious damage. They can't. They're powerless. It's not appropriate to do this. There's no point, and I told Kraut this many times, there's no point digging up like people's pasts in the alt-right. I mean, I don't assume that race realists have got flawless pasts, and like alt-right racer, like the people from the alt. I don't assume people who join the alt-right have clean pasts, and I don't care. It's irrelevant. I mean, I don't even care about whether the SJWs do or not, except it is entirely because they preach this kind of hyper-moral purity that no earthly human could ever manage to live up to. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so I'm just really done with this drama. I don't care anymore. I've seen a lot of disappointing behaviour on all sides, mostly with Kraut though. I'm not going to be beating around the bush, and so yeah, I'm just going to take down his mirror. As I understand it, JF's stream was a joke stream or something. Like I said, I don't know. I've been out of the loop. But this is just ridiculous, and really, are the French even people? Seriously though, I had a really good day today, and I get back on the internet, and it's like, oh god, drama. I've got better things to do. I really do, and I think everyone else does as well. But I mean, maybe it's a good learning experience. Maybe something will come out of this that's positive. I failed to say, but to be honest with you, do you know what I think should happen? I think Kraut should apologise for his behaviour. I think his little team of scientists should probably do the same, because whoever's been engaging in these dirty tactics should apologise. And I think that Kraut and his team should do exactly what I said from the start. They should talk to JF and the alternative hypothesis guy, and
when I listen to Sargon's narrative about the alt-right, I automatically take it with a grain of salt, because I know that Sargon is dependent on the alt-right to an extent, because Sargon acquired a lot of alt-right patrons during the Gamergate scandal, and he has built so much, and you know, not just him, but sort of Sargonites in general have built so much of their brand on not disagreeing with the alt-right because the alt-right is harmless. It seems, of course, in my opinion, even when the alt-right didn't have explicit political power, to me they were still dangerous. But I don't know how anyone who is fact-based at this point can make the argument that the alt-right is harmless and powerless. They have the presidency of the United States of America. Donald Trump is, if I'm being generous, an alt-right sympathizer, enabler. He was certainly installed by the alt-right movement. You know, if Barack Obama is the president that was created by the MoveOn.org anti-war movement during the Bush Jr. administration, you know, in response to the Bush Jr. administration, then Donald Trump certainly is the president that was created by the alt-right white grievance movement. And, you know, I'm surprised that would somehow be controversial at this point. He recently tweeted out videos of supposed Muslims throwing gay people off of buildings. He retweeted a video by a Britain First nationalist organization, a white nationalist organization in Britain, and it featured these graphic videos. And immediately the alt-right, as usual, jumped on it and said, you know, we have a sympathizer president. So if the president of the United States of America is not powerful enough to compel the Sargonites to criticize the alt-right or perceive the alt-right as a beyond online threat, I don't know how much more of a position of power you can really have in the modern world outside of controlling the largest military in the world. In the end, the alt-right has the sympathies of the commander-in-chief of Earth's biggest military. The alt-right has the sympathies of the man who has his finger on the button for a nuclear holocaust. The alt-right has the sympathies of a man that by a great deal influences global capitalism. Now, I think it's just egocentrism when I listen to Sargon talk about how harmless the alt-right is, or when he lands on... And remember, the relevance of Sargon is as a movement leader. The incident with Kraut and J.F. Garepi recently, which he mentioned in this video here, the drama with Kraut, was a lesson. It was illustrative of the fact that Sargon will not tolerate people shaking the pillars of the anti-SJW alliance, and threatening the economic base of the anti-SJW alliance. They can do finger wagging and wrist slapping of the alt-right because the Sargonites always need to remind the alt-right that they have value to them. Like, for example, if Sargon declared he was alt-right and went all the way, he would have less value than he does to the movement right now, because what someone like Sargon or Andy Warski acknowledging, validating the alt-right does is create the impression of legitimacy. The PewDiePie debacle, where it seemed like he was winking at the alt-right. Again, they want to present extreme... It's all Overton window moving. They want to present extreme ideas as mainstream, and when JonTron is talking about white genocide, then it is certainly going to reach and quote-unquote red pill more people than Richard Spencer talking about it. The alt-right, if you see them speaking amongst themselves, when you examine videos about them talk, if you look into videos of the alt-right talking amongst themselves, there are certain people that are more valuable to the movement as sympathizers or as apologists. I think I would use the term apologist for that component of Sargon's community. And then there are people that they want to, there's been a lot of pushback lately to get certain people to shit or get off the pot, like Lauren Southern, who just keeps on flirting with alt-right identity and not going all the way. There are certain people that they want to go all the way just because they're already knee-deep. These people are usually already fringy, like Faith Goldie. Faith Goldie doesn't have any value to the alt-right. Once she went all the way with Stormfront, she no longer had any value as a bridge builder. So she was, she was enticed into going all the way, right? All the way, for me, is race realism. All the way for me is Holocaust denial. All the way, if I'm qualifying somebody going all the way into the alt-right, it has to do with how they treat the Jewish question. Those are the current litmus tests for proper alt-rightness. The idea of whether or not Hitler was a bad guy, which I can't believe we're still having that conversation in 2017. But I reckon, the Second World War will be relitigated in the West as long as the left and right wing exist. The idea of somehow the struggle being between Hitler and Stalin is very strange, because the left let go of Stalin a long time ago. You don't meet a lot of Stalinists. You'll meet tankies on the internet, and they'll usually be Maoists or Marxist-Leninists. I don't agree with any of that stuff, right? Like I'm not an authoritarian communist, but very few people will own Joseph Stalin's legacy unironically. So it's very strange. I can comprehend why people still toss Adolf Hitler at the right, because people on the right have not grown since Nazi Germany. People on the right, the end point of the extreme right-wing political agenda is something of a ethno-state in the West, and sort of finishing the legacy of Adolf Hitler. Whereas, Jeremy Corbyn is not trying to finish what Stalin started. Corbyn or Bernie Sanders is not intending to bring the Maoist program to the United States. The left wing has spent the 20th century getting their taste of authoritarian communism, and more or less modern leftists spit that out. They basically want sort of Keynesian economics, progressive economic structure, but still liberal democracy and capitalism. And particularly recently, Sargon made a comment in discussion with this channel's personal enemy, Millennial Woes, because Sargon proudly entertains Millennial Woes. He shows up on his millennial annual Christmas podcast spectacular and said that he would be fine with the alt-right winning in the struggle against the SJWs, even if it costs liberal democracy. And I don't think the left is there yet. I don't think that even the most radical leftists that have a chance politically these days would tell you that in order to get universal health care, they're willing to end liberal democracy. So we're in a situation where Sargon flips reality on its head and presents Jeremy Corbyn, for example, right? I keep using Jeremy Corbyn because he's the most politically viable, proper leftist on the market, and someone that Sargon has vilified extensively. But it's fascinating to ponder how Sargon can perceive Jeremy Corbyn as the next Stalin, and not perceive the alt-right as restored Nazis.